Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us at the Tech Roundup. I am Erin Hicks with Pure IT, and we have two great guests today. We have Becky Reed with Lone Star, and we have Mike Duncan with Bankjoy. I would love for us to dive in with some introductions and then really talk about the power and the value of what you guys have going on right now. Becky, can we start with you?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Erin. Hi, Mike. Nice to see you guys. I'm Becky Reed. I'm the CEO of Lone Star Credit Union. We are in the Lone Star state of Texas. We are headquartered in Dallas, actually. And Lone Star Credit Union started its digital journey way back in 2016 when we engaged with Pure IT QSO to help our infrastructure. And so I'm excited today to talk about our partnership with Bankjoy and how that's a continuation of our digital journey. Thanks, Erin.
Great. No, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, Erin, and it's always a pleasure to spend time with Becky Reed. Becky's a rock star in the space. Happy to talk about Bankjoy today. Bankjoy started Bankjoy 8 years ago. It's a modern digital banking company. We provide a complete end-to-end digital banking solution for credit unions, and we have spent quite a bit of time building out this beautiful, seamless end-to-end solution set that's built in-house. Includes mobile banking, online banking, account opening, loan applications, and more. We are today serving north of 60 financial institutions. Most of those are credit unions.
That's great. Well, perfect. Let's dive in a little bit. So, Becky, you're talking about the digital transformation that Lone Star has been able to undergo. Tell us a little bit about how it's evolved. I'll say even over the last maybe 3-4 years of where you were planning maybe to go, I'll say pre-pandemic, because we know how much has changed in that short amount of time, until what you're trying to accomplish today.
So back in 2016, we knew that we needed to do a technology overhaul. And so with the help of Pure IT, we created our digital journey roadmap, because you can't do everything all at once. And you've got to have a plan in order to move towards the future. So that digital journey was included in our strategic plan. And part of that digital journey included doing a core conversion. So in 2017, we converted to the Correlation Core. And that kind of started us on a forward journey and in becoming more mature on that digital roadmap. So the first several years kind of ended with that conversion. And then beyond that, we started developing tools using our new technology infrastructure, including our core, to better our member and our employee experience. And so what we noticed during the pandemic, and we have been Bankjoy customers since prior to the pandemic, but what we noticed is our members, just like at many credit unions, started doing things remotely more often. So pre-pandemic, we were about 30% of our members did everything remotely. Post-pandemic, it's upwards of 40 to 45% of all of our members never visit a branch. They do everything electronically. Wow. And so Bankjoy is a very important part of that, because to our members, we are Bankjoy. So the Bankjoy interface is what our members see and use every day in order to interact with Lone Star Credit Union. Certainly, they may make a phone call and talk to a person, or they may come into a branch, but the physical representation of our virtual identity is the Bankjoy front end, which our members interact with every day. So it's a very important relationship with your digital banking vendor, and Bankjoy was the natural fit to further our digital roadmap.
That's wonderful. Thanks, Becky. Mike, from your perspective, how has it been, and how has Bankjoy evolved over the years working with credit unions? And I know there's probably been a ton of you keep learning and different iterations. How has that changed with time?
Yeah, so when we started, the first pain point that we noticed in the industry was that there was a lack of good user interface design and experience, and really for two reasons. One, it seemed like the products in the space, user interface design was always sort of an afterthought and not a core value of these products from the get-go. And the second reason why this has been a problem has been because the industry is for a long time, for decades now, has been stitching together solutions by working with half dozen vendors, and they might have one vendor for online account opening and another vendor for mobile and online banking, and they're trying to stitch these solutions together to create this holistic solution set and kind of check the boxes, right? And the problem with that approach, I think everyone's learning now, is that you can't deliver a beautiful, seamless, and efficient experience across these different channels. And while in the past that may have checked all the boxes, now we're up against fintechs that are providing really beautiful, consistent, seamless experiences from touch point to touch point. We're up against neobanks that from the very first interaction online account opening, it's leading you into through a very quick process to your other digital experiences. And these are experiences that are difficult to impossible to achieve by working with lots of vendors that aren't working really closely together to bring your experience together.
I completely agree with you. Go ahead, Mike.
Sorry. Yeah. So that was the first step in our journey, was building out these solution sets, right? So we started with mobile and online banking, then we added online account opening, loan applications, and then conversational AI. And so that was really the first arc of our as a company in our evolution. The second big arc has been adding layers of value on top of this ecosystem. So adding value that will actually make a real impact in someone's life. So moving away from basic listener transactions and balances and basic money movement to how can we help people understand their money better? How can we help them develop better personal and financial wellness and become much more connected as credit unions to our missions and to our values and helping our communities thrive and succeed. So I'm most excited about this next step in our evolution.
That's great. I mean, I can only imagine, Becky, some of those are hot button items for the credit union industry specifically that Mike touched on. But what was the main reason? Why did Lone Star choose Bankjoy even years ago?
So for Lone Star Credit Union, we decided when we went through that digital journey, because the vendors and the partners that we chose to work with, we found that if there was a culture fit between the two organizations, the partnership worked much better moving forward. And so when we chose the correlation core, that was a big factor. We did an RFP and we looked at several different options, but culture fit was something moving forward that we wanted to incorporate into that RFP process as we made choices to go with new partners. And Bankjoy fit right into that mold. We found a common ethos. We found common values. We found, kind of that entrepreneurial spirit to do something new and exciting and innovative. And that was something that was very important to us when we chose Bankjoy, that there was a cultural match and that we could move forward together as Bankjoy continued to evolve its digital roadmap and as Lone Star continued to evolve ours, that we were moving together into the future. And something I think that Bankjoy still does very well today, they provide a really great member-facing product. I mean, it's amazing. And how it integrates with our core is just really incredible. However, one of the things that Bankjoy focuses on is research and development for what might be coming in the future. And I think when you look at many digital banking partners, sometimes that piece is missing or it's minimal. And, you get what you get. And, a lot of times there's not a lot of new and exciting things that are happening. And in the digital world, things change all the time and they change rapidly. So we feel that it's really important to partner with a company, a digital banking company that's going to be ready for the next 4 or 5 years of evolution, not just what is available today.
That's great. I appreciate that. What else can you guys say about anything that's come up as far as industry challenges or anything related to member needs, or Mike, what you're hearing about things that are coming up or any challenges that we've seen or overcome?
Yeah, I'd say that a recent challenge that's been building up just because of the economic conditions today, and also recent events in the banking industry, the collapse of SVB and the ripple effect. One of the challenges that we're noticing with FIs across the board is deposit growth and challenges around adding new memberships and customers. And folks are, they're concerned. They want to go and park their money at larger FIs, and larger FIs will stand up branches in our communities as billboards in a way, and they've got the name recognition and the brand recognition across the nation, right? So when folks get concerned, they might go in that direction, and this is really concerning because our credit unions, they are there to serve our communities. They are in line with the needs of that community, and they understand those communities really well. But I think as we move online, the challenge has been, how do we deliver these values? How do we deliver features and functionality to folks that expresses the core differentiation, the core values that credit unions have and possess, right? It was something that was easy to do when we went into the branches. Branch people know us by our first name, and they know what our goals are, and they know who we are individually, and they would give us a great member experience. And credit unions dominated when it came to experience, but as we moved online, it became more and more challenging. And so, one particular challenge that we're facing in growth deposits is, how do we get folks who are going online, they expect to be able to open up an account online, giving them a really great experience from the get-go, right? And so it's something we spent quite a bit of time building out a solution to allow new prospective members to open up an account, to become a member, and we do that in about 90 seconds,
Wow.
fully automated with that core system, so that we can get that person up and running and getting them into digital right away from the get-go. It's just one of the things we're doing to help address some of those challenges we're seeing.
That's huge. So speed, obviously, I mean, I remember, where you couldn't even open an account online because, right, how would they know who you are? We have to know our member, know our customer, if you will, to now 90 seconds. So when you touch on, it's such a critical component, right? You have the member experience, which you need to be a fabulous experience, and speed is a component of that. But what are we seeing? How are we differentiating to make sure that you still feel like the warm fuzzies, even though you're kind of a quick hit, right? You want the speed. I want to know that I can get something done quick if I want it, but I also want to feel good about my experience. So how are you guys solving for that challenge?
Yeah, I think the first thing to consider there is just the overall user experience and design of that solution. It's got to feel good when you're using it, and it's also got to be available in the channel that where you want to engage. So if I'm on my mobile device, I should be able to go through the entire process. It should feel easy on my mobile device. It shouldn't feel like a chore getting through that process. And so that's the first consideration is, let's make sure the user experience is beautiful, is efficient, makes sense, and it also embodying everything we need to ensure that person is set up correctly from a KYC perspective. And so that's what we designed in the lending and opening process. Really good, tight, beautiful user experience that leads them into the digital banking, where they've already got their credentials set up. They've already got everything they need from a KYC perspective, check systems perspective, to start banking right away, right? And that next part of the journey, greeting them with tools that now they're empowered to add sub accounts whenever they want to add joint owners whenever they want to. The key thing there is really to give them an opportunity that when their life changes, if they get married or if they have children, they have a way to change their financial products accordingly when they want to. That's the first step, and that's just the first part of the journey. But it's one step that so many credit unions don't get right.
Right. Absolutely. So I know we're getting a little bit close on time. Anything else that we wanted to talk about, Becky, that you wanted to share, and then Mike, maybe to wrap us up, just if there's any nuggets or any excitement that you can share for the future of what we can continue to expect from Bankjoy.
So I think one of the things Lone Star, it kind of has a reputation for, and some of the exciting things that Bankjoy is doing and will be putting out in the future is that Lone Star Credit Union has a wonderful team that is happy to test new things and provide feedback to our vendor partners on. And, sometimes credit unions are a little risk averse and they don't want to try something new. And the really great thing about the team here at Lone Star is Bankjoy can come to us and say, hey, we have something that is new. Would you guys like to try it and give us some feedback? And so because Lone Star Credit Union is an investor in Bankjoy, and because I am on the advisory board with other credit union clients and investors of Bankjoy, we get the opportunity to kind of see firsthand what is on the roadmap for Bankjoy and have an opportunity to pilot or do a proof of concept for those things so that, again, we can find the value in a true partnership. And again, that's why we chose Bankjoy, because we can have those conversations. And we're very happy that Bankjoy allows us to give them feedback. They absolutely listen to it. They seek out our feedback. And in some cases, they can provide a perspective we don't have. We can provide a perspective that they don't have. So Lone Star Credit Union is very excited to be able to partner with Bankjoy on things that could be coming out in the future.
Oh, I feel like Becky's got the insider knowledge. Share what you can, Mike. We're very very excited.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that we're working on, and that Becky has insights into. And one of the great things about working with Becky is, as an investor and as part of our client advisory board, is that she's obviously has the firsthand experience. She really is a progressive leader in the space who is willing to take chances and try new things and new technology. And I think it's really paid off for Lone Star. This digital transformation that Becky talked about started years ago. It wasn't triggered by the pandemic, like so many FIs. It was something that was planned and thought about. So when the pandemic arrived, they were prepared, right? So that's why we're excited about working with Becky. There is, in terms of our roadmap, we've spent the past few years building out this complete end-to-end digital banking ecosystem. And one of my favorite analogies is to compare it to the Apple ecosystem. And whether you're a fan of Apple or not, you have to appreciate that they've built out, beautiful laptops and phones and smartwatches, and they've got all these different pieces of their product ecosystem. But what's really amazing about what they did with that next is adding layers of value on top of that product ecosystem to make it really sticky and also valuable to the end users. And so that's my favorite analogy to what we're building here is, we built out all these different components. We're basically, merging together vendors in a way and building out these products in a holistic and thoughtful way so they work together really seamlessly. But what I'm most excited about is the layers of value that we add on top of our ecosystem. So financial wellness. How do we get people understanding money better? How do we get them developing better personal financial wellness? How do we help businesses control their business and add new employees to help manage finances and do transfers and things like that. So we've added a layer of business on top of our ecosystem as well. And we're just getting started here, right? So these layers of value is really what's going to drive, we believe is going to drive the industry forward, just moving away from the table stakes like features.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for your time today and connecting with us. Mike, look forward to obviously hearing some of those value statements and those features, connecting with you again in the future. And Becky, it's always great to connect with you. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate your time, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Erin.